want people to be happy with what they get food-wise. Like trying to look after the. You want soft yolk or hard? Is that?
Soft.
Yeah, good. I got excited about getting the diner because it allowed me to not have any boundaries, sort of, to be creative in a way which I wouldn't be able to do in other establishments. There is things in here that's not gonna always be like a brand new kitchen, and you have to allow for this.
The diner itself is an original American diner. It was built in the east coast of the States in the late 50s and operated there in various guises, different names, and indeed the last guise apparently in I think it was the mid-80s, was serving pizzas. It was refurbished in 1989 in the States, and the guy who refurbished it tried to sell it in the West Coast, but that failed. At that point, there was an Englishman, and I'm not sure who it was, but he bought, our understanding is he bought 5 diners, original American diners, he bought them all over to the UK in the southeast, and he set them up mostly in London, but set several in the southeast as well.
As a chef, you're normally stuck in a basement or in the back of a building with like fluorescent lighting, there's no daylight into your environment. And for me to have found this diner in the setting like this, every day when I come in, I smile at myself. I look out in the Thames, I'm like, look, the aesthetics of it all, the feel of it all, being so close to the customers as you cook and produce your food is not something that you get on a daily occurrence. Equipment-wise and setup-wise, it's a challenge sometimes because of how the spacing is. We haven't got much space to work. Like we do a lot of our prepping here, which can be challenging at times. But yeah, we make it happen. We make it happen, definitely.
This particular diner was set up in Covent Garden in 1993, I think it was, and my boss, Eric Reynolds, managed to persuade the owner of the diner in Covent Garden to bring it over to Spitalfields. The diner was then moved to Bishopsgate. That's where we had a small pocket park, and the diner was located there. We left in 1999. The diner was then moved inside Spitalfields itself, under the roof. And during the year that it was there, the guy who ran it went bust, and the receivers sold it to the chef, a guy called Rosario Falchetta. And he was running it for another kind of 5 or 6 months at Spitalfields inside, at which point the then owners asked him to leave. And he ended up parking it, not using it, but parking it in a kind of secure car park in Hackney Wick on the Fish Island sort of way, right beside the River Lee. And in 2003, Eric was on a boat trip up the River Lee, and he saw the diner. He saw this thing just sitting there, and so he got in touch with Ross, and a deal was done. So we then had a hot food operation here, because we had nothing before then. We had those guys who used to drive in those trucks with sandwiches. That was it before then, and there was nothing else at all around here.
90% of all our dishes in-house, like we don't buy in any burgers, or our chickens comes in from Smithfields. Yeah, so everything is made in-house, so you see as your food is prepared in front of you. I got a really nice pork shoulder from Smith's on Thursday, and the pulled pork at the moment, today is my favorite dish at the moment. It could be tomorrow, it could change, because I could get something nice and then it changes. But at the moment, it's the pulled pork. My ethos is good ingredients. Good ingredients is the base, it's definitely the basis of what I do. If it's good ingredients, then I want to put it on my menu. If I go to a supplier and they've got some nice tomato or nice bit of pork on, then I'll think of something to do with it and then put it on. It's having fun with food basically and enjoying what you do, which, yeah, I think it's fundamental.
So it's really important for us to bring the diner here. And we had a lovely time with Ross for a period of time. It was over near the gate. It wasn't in this current location. And he then sold it to us in, I think, about 2014. So we then took it over in 2014. We moved it to this location in 2015. And we've been through a couple of operators since then. The last one is the current one is Les. And that's the kind of history of the diner.
It's not every day you experience things like this. I think I'm very blessed and very privileged to have found this diner and to be able to operate it. It's like a marriage made in heaven. Like we were meant to be together, and I don't think, unless there's a big natural disaster, we're not going to separate.